doing Christmas specials. The gang's all here. They have all rights, privileges, faxes, and every other thing to talk. They can say whatever they want. I don't care.
Shaboo-boo.
Faxes? Is that a real word?
F-A-X-E-S, faxes, yeah.
Okay.
If you play with your friends, you would know that.
Oh.
All right. Number 10. Now, I'm going to start off with the WTF moment. Now, I'm also going to say I had a horrible time trying to find all animated stuff. So I just went with basic Christmas episodes, Christmas specials, whatever. And number 10 is the most obscure one, but I thought it was the first thing that popped into my head. I want to throw it anyway. It's an episode of NCIS LA. It's a Christmas episode. Basically, the plot line was that everybody involved in NCIS had no clue what to give Hetty, is her nickname?
Hetty.
What to give Hetty for Christmas, because she's very professional and very proper, and they all think, well, what can we give her for Christmas? But then she goes around and she does the whole re-gifting thing. Like, she would give a present that was given to her from LL Cool J's character to Chris O'Donnell's character. So everybody got the same presents. And, you know, even though, they go out and shoot up the bad guys, they still have Christmas in their hearts, and NCIS is their little family. So there's my number 10. Anyway, so
You think you know me?
yeah, that's why it's number 10. That's why it's at the bottom of the list. Number 9 was the Christmas episode of Father Knows Best. And basically, yes, Father Knows Best. Basically, the Christmas episode was Grandma, the grandma of the family, comes over to visit.
You get someone by a reindeer?
No.
My
No,
favorite one.
Grandma does not get run over by a reindeer.
No.
And of course, Grandma's tired from her long trip or whatever, and so the father, who's also the good little son, decides to draw up a warm bath. So he goes into the bathroom, turns on. Next thing you know, a pipe breaks, and so they look in the white pages or whatever, the yellow pages or whatever the phone book is back then, and they find a guy named Mr. Fix-It, and they call him up and they say, we're surprised you're open here. It's almost Christmas Eve. Can you come and fix this pipe? And they, of course I'll come and fix the pipe. It's Christmas. Guy comes out. He fixed the pipe. And the youngest daughter,
Kitten,
thank you. She's like, I think she's afraid of Grandma, or she doesn't really know her grandma very well, and she tries to help out. But of course, Grandma is the portrayed as the mean old cranky grandma. And
Potter of Father Knows Best.
yeah, pretty much.
There you go. And not Harry, people, for you freaking kids out there.
And
old man Potter.
No Harry Potter.
So the Fix-It guy, while he's fixing the pipes, he actually tells Kitten a Christmas story about angels. And ironically, the angel is played by her older sister in the show. And of course, everything is hunky-dory. They're all family again. They offer to pay the Fix-It guy, and he says, no charge, it's Christmas. So a nice little warm little happy episode there. Number 8, the Andy Griffith Christmas special.
So that probably not as fast.
Andy Griffith. I can't even do it. I can't do it. Basically, if I remember that episode correctly, the thing that I loved the most was Andy brought out his guitar and played in the jail. And there's this one mean old cranky, cratchety type who, ironically, also he was on I Love Lucy. He played the sheriff in the Ernie Ford episode in Tennessee. He played. Remember him?
Yeah.
Ernie Ford.
Yeah. Basically, the backstory was he's all alone for Christmas and nobody cares about him, and he's just whatever. And Andy has to, I believe, work on Christmas Eve, so he decorates the jail all nice and whatever, and brings out his guitar and sings and all that. And of course, the cranky old guy gets himself arrested or whatever, and then he peeks in through the window and he sees everyone having a good time. And so he intentionally gets himself rearrested so he can join in the holiday festivities. Which is...
Why not just knock on the door and say, hey, can I join the party?
Well, because he's cranky. He's always mean and cranky. So he's too good for that. But in the end, he realizes what Christmas really is. And, again, another warm, happy moment.
Little interesting trivia bit there.
Go ahead.
The guitar that Andy Griffith always would play on the Andy Griffith Show and stuff, he gave to Brad Paisley after working with him on the set of Waiting on a Woman.
Stat Boy approved. That is absolutely
Wow,
true.
that's pretty cool.
Yes. Number 7. An episode of Gilligans Island that had to deal with Christmas.
Her?
Yeah.
I've seen every episode.
There was a Christmas episode. Basically, Christmas came around on the island.
It was between the time when they met the Harlem Globetrotters and they got rescued.
Pretty much. And basically,
Were on this?
yeah, the Harlem Globetrotters on Gilligan's Island. It was a made-for-TV movie.
Oh, okay. Well, I gotta look that up.
But the story with Gilligan's Island was, they're still on the island. They've decorated, but they just can't get into the holiday spirit because they're marooned on this island. And
But all these other people can manage to find their way to visit, but just can't offer
They just
7
can't.
stranded castaways a way off.
Yeah, like the makeshift Beatles that came on. They found themselves on the island.
Talk about a continuity flaw. All these celebrities find their way onto the island, but can't offer Gilligan and his buddies a way off.
Yeah, really. So they're all, I think they even do some flashbacks and they reminisce. And ironically, Santa Claus comes out.
Yeah.
Santa Claus can get on
Santa Claus shows on the island.
Seriously, and jolly old Saint Nick can't find room in his sleigh to put each castaway on one of the reindeer's back and jet them off the freaking island. Come on, Saint Nick.
But Santa Claus shows up, and of course Santa Claus was portrayed by Alan Hale Jr., Skipper.
Those are for Wayne.
But of course the castaways are there, and it's like, well, Santa, what have we got to be merry about? Well, you've got yourselves, ho, ho, ho. And then, of course, Santa Claus leaves, and then here comes the skipper, and it's like, well, wait a minute, it was Santa Claus, and then, another happy, warm moment. Number 6, animated, finally, and that's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Dr. Seuss version. Yes. Boris Karloff as the narrator.
And as the Grinch.
And the song, You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch.
Boris Karloff did not sing that. That's Thurl Ravenscroft, a Disney alumni.
Still, it's a great song.
You know the 8th.
He's the man who sings Grim Grinning Ghosts in the Haunted Mansion.
Right.
I don't know who recorded this song, but I heard it on a heavy metal station once. And it was a heavy metal band that remade that song. It was rocked.
Awesome.
Very awesome. And my favorite part of the whole thing is when the Grinch finally turns good and he's got the sack of toys and the sleigh is just about to go over. And with all his might, when his heart finally goes, and he's just lifting this thing up with 2 hands, and he's got this big old, legitimate, happy smile. Not the mean, nasty one that with that devilish smile, the cynical one. It's like, I'm the Grinch and I'm good. Number 5. I'm marking out to my company the Disney Very Merry Christmas Parade. They show it every year. They tape it. They tape it the week before Thanksgiving, though, which is like whatever, And they always
Even with Disney. Thanksgiving.
And what basically
Not a good look, Granddad.
Basically, they shoot the parade down in Florida, and they shoot in California. They edit the two together. One big parade. You get to see all the stars come out and perform their hits.
Yeah, we came the next day.
You came the next. You missed it by a day.
I think so. It was like the next day or so. It was either a day or a week.
I think it was the next day. Someone tells me it was the next day.
Either way, it pissed me off.
But it's like the big stars. I mean, they get to perform. Do they get to play in the park afterwards? I haven't seen any of the big names perform, or not the big names perform, but I just want to see big stars in the park as normal people.
Right?
I don't see that many. Once in a while I do, but not all the time. Number 4, animated, Charlie Brown Christmas. The warm, happy, fuzzy moment when Linus explains the Christmas story. Very, very sentimental, very happy. And of course, they wrap up the tree in the blanket and all that, and very fun. It's a classic. You can't go wrong with Charlie Brown. But he never gets to kick that football. He never gets to kick the football.
I think Lucy finally does let him, but he misses and kicks her.
Number 3. Now, I don't know if they do this as well as they did before, but growing up, I used to love watching the Hollywood Christmas Parade on Hollywood Boulevard. I don't know if it's still in play anymore, but if it is, it's just not the same.
When my brother was in high school, he actually marched in that parade 2 years in a row.
Nice.
Very good.
With the marching band.
It was always on KTLA Channel 5.
Not anymore.
Not anymore though. I'm assuming if I remember, Bob Eubanks was one of the hosts.
Yes, he was.
Back in the olden days, yeah.
Back in the good days of Channel 5 before.
Didn't Bob Eubanks used to host the?
He still does. Still does the Tournament of Roses parade
With Stephanie.
Yeah, when they brought in Michaela Pereira or Michaela whatever her name is from Channel 5, I almost boycotted that year on the Tournament of
I
Roses
still want
parade.
to camp out overnight for the Tournament of Roses.
But basically, it's your typical parade. Not as many floats, but people in classic cars. They have the microphones like, "Hi, Bob, Merry Christmas," and all that. And then, of course, the end was always brought with Santa Claus, and he was always brought out by the Long Beach Junior Municipal Band, and they would always play "Here Comes Santa Claus," and that's how. When you heard that song coming, you knew Santa Claus was coming. The kids all were happy. And
that's not true, because as we saw on December 10th, Jingle Bell Rock is Santa Claus's official entrance theme.
That's right.
He's bringing. Oh, okay, fine, whatever. But yeah, the Hollywood Christmas Parade, like I say, it's lost its luster, but it still holds dear. Number 2, gotta stay with Disney, and of course go with Mickey's Christmas Carol. I cannot. Thank you. I cannot. If it's on, I'll sit down. I'll stop everything. And it's pretty much, I think, the only version of Christmas Carol where the ghost of Christmas Yet to Come talks.
The best part I like about that movie, it sums up the entire 90-minute story in like 45 minutes.
Less, 30 minutes.
Okay.
They go through it quick. They it's like, here's Scrooge, here's Mickey, here's, they go right through it. So can't go wrong with Mickey's Christmas Carol. Tonight, Ebenezer, you'll be visited by 3 ghosts, says Goofy. Scrooge. Ouch! And here we go with the number 1 Christmas special, without a doubt, hands down, number 1, I Love Lucy Christmas special.
Yay!
And I like it even better because it did get colorized. But now hold on, it went back and forth. It went color during the Christmas scenes and black and white during the flashbacks. Oh, come on. Basically, the story, everyone's getting ready for Christmas. Fred comes in with the tree. Here we go again, talking about Fred again. Because in every episode, Fred Mertz has been coming up. He comes in
but at least it's not Miracle on 34th Street this time.
He comes in with the tree. Everyone's happy, and Lucy says, Fred, it looks like one side of the tree is off. Go ahead and get a saw. So he starts cutting on one side. Well, now the other side needs to be cut off. Even out the other side, cuts off another one. They go back and forth. And while they're flashbacking to their favorite moments, Fred keeps working. He keeps working, and he keeps working, and he keeps working. Eventually, the tree is bare.
Does he keep working?
He keeps working.
Alright.
The tree is bare. So now we have to go and get another tree. Fred comes in with another tree. Lucy tries to start the whole thing over again, but it's like, no, the tree is fine. Then all the toys get put out. Little Ricky comes out. He sees his drum set and his toys and all that. And in the kitchen, I believe everyone's dressed up like Santa Claus. And so they all come out singing. I think they all come out singing Jingle Bells. And they all come out and they walk around the tree. And while they're singing, they notice that another Santa Claus has magically appeared. And Lucy turns over to Ricky and pulls his beard. Ricky pulls Lucy's beard. Fred pulls Ethel's beard. Ethel pulls Fred's beard. Lucy turns over to the Santa in the middle. Oh, the beard is real. And then, thanks to the magic of television, Santa disappears. They come together. They look into the camera with odd looks on their faces and say, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh, that's
You
pretty
know? So, yeah. Uh-oh. Renegade
Excuse
just
me,
finished.
I have an email from the anonymous Roger EM.
He's fired. You have John
That
Laurinaitis now.
storyline is over. So there you go. Top 10 Christmas specials. If I've left any out, go ahead and put them in the comment box, all right? There's more to come. Stay tuned to the channel because who knows what episode is coming up next. Even I don't know. Might be mine, might be somebody else.
Can I throw out an honorable mention?
Go ahead.
The Happy Days episode where Howard was so adamant on having a family Christmas and they finally invite Fonzie because they realized he had no place to go for Christmas Day.
Happy Days episode by Double A. There you go. And I will see you next time. Christmas Stat Boy out.